The European Maritime and Fisheries Fund is the fund for the EU's maritime and fisheries policy. The purpose is to promote the fishing industry and create jobs and growth in the fishing sector. The European Maritime and Fisheries Fund in Denmark supports the data collection to establish a basis on which we manage our stocks and fisheries. This ensures that our fishing stocks are assessed on the best available data. Several Danish universities help collect the data. The Danish Fisheries Agency is the body that administers the fund in Denmark. All stages of fishing can be funded, from high-tech solutions in recirculated aquaculture farms to improvements in the coastal fisheries. If the idea is innovative and fits the goals of the fund, you can realize it, with the help of the EMFF. The fishermen and the companies receive funding for some of their expenses and the rest is self-financed. The projects are often funded with 30 to 50%, dependent on the scheme and the size of the company. The Danish Fisheries Agency approves grants through a wide variety of different schemes. A part of those schemes is directed at the industry, and those schemes are the focus of this film. Due to political priorities, the coastal fisheries are favoured where it is deemed relevant. Investments on fishing vessels. Through these schemes, investments on fishing vessels can get funding. Coastal fishermen are prioritised, and especially those who are fishing with low-impact fishing gear. Young fishermen are prioritised as well. As an example, grants have been approved for separator panels to reject unwanted catch, and new trawl drums to increase selectivity and ease the change of gear. Innovative fishery. Grants are approved for the development of fishery for new products, new processes, or new technology and new organisation or gear. As an example, the European Maritime and Fisheries Fund has supported the beginning of an entirely new fishery for whelk in Denmark. 8 coastal fishermen are whelk fishermen now, and more are expected to join the fishery. Green crabs are caught in the fikes of eel fishermen and are a great nuisance. The EMFF has helped to fund a project where a value chain was created to sell the green crab. Now a fraction of them are sold for 5 kroners per kilogram, and many supermarket chains in Denmark sell crab bisque originating from this project. The European Maritime and Fisheries Fund is funding a project on automation of pot fishery for brown crab, a project which improves the working conditions on board and ensures a higher income for the fishermen. Innovative aquaculture. Projects in this scheme reduce the impact on the environment, increase fish welfare, or improve sustainable production methods. The development of new species to aquaculture or new products has been funded in the past. For instance, the switch from conventional aquaculture to recirculated aquaculture farms has been funded for the benefit of the environment and the production. Investments in aquaculture. In this scheme, investments in aquaculture can get funding. The EMFF has funded aquaculture production of kingfish in recirculated aquaculture plants. A project about establishing oyster banks in the Limp Fjord has been funded. Oysters were produced in closed systems and were thereafter released on suitable locations in the fjord. Marketing investments. In this scheme, many different marketing and promotion initiatives can receive funding. Among other things, a special reserve to evaluate the educational objectives have been earmarked to ensure the fishery of the future and the education of new fishers. Priority is given to applications that concern coastal and low-impact fisheries. Under this scheme, projects about MSc certification have been funded and the TV campaign twice a week.
Ikke så ringe endda.
Gunnar!
Ja.
Investments in ports and places of landing. In this scheme, the focus is directed at the coastal fishers in the small ports. The purpose of this scheme is to prevent the decline in the small ports and places of landing and contribute to the landing obligation. This is why it is possible to improve the infrastructure and actions that help to meet the landing obligation. Examples of projects that have received funding are, among other things, a fish box washer, discard silage and a mobile winch in the Torup Strand. Fishery, nature and environment. The overarching purpose of this scheme is to create projects that can fulfill goals on intelligent and sustainable growth, including projects that are leading to a less impacted marine environment and fewer unwanted catches. Management plans have earlier received funding from this scheme, and most recently a successful project about seal-safe fishing gears has been funded. See if your project can get funding. Go to www.fiskeristyrelsen.dk. Or contact the EMF facilitator, Poul Turing.